welcome back to the Football Chat. Today, we're going to be talking all things FPL for Game Week 2. There's a lot of debates out there, a lot of discussions. I think we start with what I've probably titled this, in Kane versus Haaland, and I've also put Nunez in there as well. Sort of the debate over the premium forwards. Now, in your team, Harry, you have no premium forwards. Why do you not?
I think I put my money elsewhere. I put my money into premium midfielders. You know, I have Salah and Son both in there.
Yeah, that proved fruitful first weekend.
Yeah, and I do feel that there are strikers out there who aren't premium that are still very good. One, obviously, we'll get into in a minute. He's got a very nice run of fixtures. He scored in the opening weekend, and I think he could absolutely steal.
Yeah, so obviously a lot of people owning at Kane. He has a 20% or 20.3% own percentage. That's quite high for someone who only scored 2 points in the first weekend. I'd expect more people to react harshly and bin him off after the first weekend, but it seems some people are sticking with him. He has got Chelsea as well this weekend, which is a tough fixture for him. He then plays Wolves and Nottingham Forest at 11.4 mil. I don't know. Obviously, Chelsea is a very tough game. I don't know whether it'll score there. Wolves, again, could prove to be tough, and then you would expect them to get goals against Forest.
I look at the favourable. After Chelsea, Tottenham have Wolves at home, which they'll win.
Yeah.
Forest away, West Ham away, Fulham at home. 4 fixtures where I'd expect to see.
Don't they play Man City after that?
They then do have, I believe, City. They have City, Leicester, Arsenal.
So
after that,
next 8 games, they have 4 of the top sides. I don't know if Kane is worth it, especially when at just 0.2 more, you have Erling Haaland, of course. The double against West Ham in his own weekend. He took bonus points from that as well. 54.6% own rate at the moment on FPL. I imagine that'll only go up, though, from the time we're recording. So, yeah, it's very high. Does that make him a bit of a pointless buy, then? Because obviously it's not a differential in the slightest. But then equally, you have Son and Salah.
If you're looking, I don't have the premium strikers at Haaland. Whereas more people have Haaland, they do have Son. For comparison, only 22.5 people have Son, whereas 54% have Haaland.
Do more have Haaland or Salah? I expect it to be Salah after last year's tally.
62% have Salah. I don't know. I just think if you're trying, strikers, obviously one of the big places you can gain points on your FPL rivals. Taking Haaland isn't the way you're going to do that.
Is it not?
No, because you're just going to get the same points as everyone else who has Haaland.
Yeah, but at least it gives you a steady points flow.
I do need a rethink in my striker department because there's 2 that I'm not too sure about. But
yeah,
obviously I wouldn't have the money to get in one of these premium forwards that we're talking about. That would mean I'd have to shift Salah and Son. But right now, I have no excuse to shift Salah or Son. Okay, well, the other option up. So Haaland's got Bournemouth, Newcastle, Crystal Palace in the next 3. That is a really nice run for him. Really nice. But I'd argue Nunez has got an even easier run of it. At just 9 mil, so he's over 2 mil, cheaper than the other options in this kind of premium forward debate. Yeah. 23.9% pick rate, 9 points in the first week. He got a goal and an assist off the bench. He plays Crystal Palace, Man United and Bournemouth. Now, on the face of things, United team's a really tough game. But I don't think this United side is going to be in any sort of condition, I guess you could say, to play at Liverpool right now. Definitely. I think they will lose that game. Probably.
So, do they then... is it more of a better option to take Nunez? I'll be honest, I've got Nunez in my team. I'm keeping him around definitely throughout this run. I think at 9 mil he offers a really nice option. He's cheaper than other premiums, but he is still getting consistent points, unlike Gabriel Jesus and Kai Havertz, who I also have, who I guess you could say are relatively premium.
Yeah.
I think the only other option, Ronaldo in a premium, no one is taking Ronaldo right now. Because he's not going to be playing much for United. So, and I back them to lose every game. And yet I have to Hiram Sancho on my team, so that's great.
Yeah. Looking at my strikers, I have Danny Ings, who, after watching Aston Villa, I'm questioning at the moment.
I was going to say, you've got Ings and Scamacca, right?
Scamacca, I think they've got Forest this weekend.
Yeah, if he starts, it's good, but if he's going to
gamble,
slowly edging to the side.
Ivan Toney. I think this man is a must-get.
At 7 mil, right?
7 mil. He scored on the opening day against Leicester when his team were 2-0 down. And his next run of fixtures looks bloody lovely. United at home, which I think is a definite win for Leicester. For
Brentford, he probably should score in that, yeah.
Fulham away, Everton at home, Palace away, Leeds at home, Southampton away. So
Very nice run, yeah.
Next 6 games for Tony, I think he'll score in every single game.
Yeah.
I can see him, and I think he could be... After that, they've got Arsenal at home, Bournemouth away, Newcastle at home, Brighton. So you could even keep Tony till game week 11 before they play Chelsea and City.
And even then, you can just bench him or keep him in there and he might get a goal.
I mean, yeah, up until
He'll be on a really nice run
game week 15, because game week 16 they have City, then game week 17 Spurs, game week 18 West Ham, game week 19 Liverpool. So
You've got to bear in mind, after that City game, there is the summer break where free transfers come into play. Well, not summer break, sorry, winter break for the World Cup. Free transfers come in. You can quickly get rid of Tony.
I think Tony
without any
16 for the first 16 game weeks.
Yeah, obviously if he starts blanking, then get him gone. But he did score against Brentford, against Leicester. Sorry, did he get bonus points as well in that game?
Yeah, he got 8 in the end. He got 8 points.
So solid first weekend for him. Seems like a really good option you've got there.
I think he could put Man United's defence.
Yeah.
To the swords.
I'm also not happy with my striking options. I'm going to give Jesus more time. I'm going to give Havertz another week. If he scores against Tottenham, I might have to keep him around. But I'll be honest, at the moment, I'm thinking game week 1, I want to hold on to my transfer. So game week 2, I can then either make two moves, and then I can shift money from somewhere to another position, or I can use 3 and really change the squad, and it's only then a -4 and not a -8. Yeah. So I'm not going to be too reactionary. I'm going to wait until after next weekend, because if Jesus goes and scores a hat-trick, then against Leicester, then I'm going to keep him around. But he didn't do much against Palace.
Interesting for me, the most interesting department of going into this game week is midfield options. Yeah. Because game week 1 proved that there are some midfielders who I wouldn't have expected to do as well, which you could maybe think, do I get them in?
Yeah, I mean, I thought I took some really solid midfield options. I was thinking, you know what, I'm going to do pretty well this week. But I had Son, Mount, Saka, Sancho, and Leon Bailey. Bailey, of course, benched, but you'd expect more than, I think, if I go to the points I got this week. Son brought me in 10 because I captained him. Saka brought 6, Mount 3, Sancho 2. None of them really did anything. Son got an assist and Saka got also an assist, wasn't it? Against Palace. Yeah. And he got a clean sheet point as well. But it's not really the kind of points you're going to want from your premium midfielders. So if Son doesn't start firing soon, I mean, if he doesn't score against Chelsea, then potentially get him out. But because obviously they've got Wolves, Forest, West Ham, Fulham. I don't know, it's quite a tough run. Fulham obviously drew against Liverpool on the opening day. There's no reason why they can't now push on from that and put themselves in a good position by the time they play Tottenham on game week 6. West Ham are certainly no slouch. They didn't have a great game against City, but equally I think they definitely could have held on if it wasn't for that penalty, which is a direct consequence of Fabianski going off injured and Areola making a big error. And Wolves and Forest aren't really
the big
easy
midfielders
games,
for me are the likes of Saka and Odegaard. Arsenal's next 4 fixtures, they've got... Well, to be fair, they've got a lovely run up until about the 8th game week. They've got Leicester, Bournemouth, Fulham, Villa, United, Everton and Brentford.
Yeah, I mean, I will keep Saka around. I will probably keep Jesus around.
Liverpool, Leeds and City, so maybe get rid of him before. First 8 game weeks look really comfortable for Arsenal. So I think the likes of Odegaard and Saka are must players to have. But, I mean, looking at who did well in game 1, obviously Pascal Gross got a double.
Yeah.
Was that United
against Man United?
Or is that Pascal Gross being a...
He also took 3 bonus points, I believe. Yeah. Very solid weekend for Gross. I have put on the board, gamble on Gross. Do you take that hit? Potentially, it could be very fruitful. They play... I'm trying to remember now. Brighton play Newcastle this weekend. It's at the Amex as well. I mean, is it worth a punt? I'm going to say no. What do you think?
I don't know. Look at their fixtures. They've got Newcastle, West Ham, Leeds, Fulham, Leicester, Bournemouth, Palace. I don't know. I think Gross's double was just him being in the right place at the right time against Manchester United, who look poor.
They do. I mean, he does enjoy a lot of success against Man United. He always seems to score against them.
I think they'll struggle against Newcastle, and that'll be the tell. Or he could score another double against
a budget
Newcastle.
option there, where if you're perhaps looking at Leon Bailey and going, I don't know how Villa are going to get on. Potentially, you take that gamble on Gross.
Big one for me is how Villa do.
If not, just if he scores again against Newcastle, then maybe you're looking at him for game week 3. But I wouldn't be taking a punt on him just yet. Kulusevski, London derby coming up this weekend. Looked really, really good against Southampton. The only question I have around Dejan Kulusevski is whether he will start or whether Richarlison will start more this season. I think after his performance against Southampton, he will start. Even if he does, you'd imagine he'd be coming off around 60 minutes for Richarlison. Is that enough time against a solid opposition like Chelsea to get a goal and to really make a mark? Is it worth the punt?
I think Southampton, again, a bit like Gross, playing Southampton opening game week has given him a lot of points and a chance to win. They've got Chelsea, then they've got Wolves, Forest. Yeah, well,
we've looked at the Tottenham run quite a few times.
It's just the fixtures after that. I don't think there's no point bringing them into the 4 games, easy games that they have between game 3 and game 6. And West Ham aren't an easy game. I don't know.
Also, his price going up does, of course, make it a little bit more difficult to fit him in because you can't just take out, say, a Mount at 8 mil or a Saka at 8 mil and just slot straight in another 8 mil. He is now up to 8.1, so it does become a little awkward already. But I think if you've got, say, a James Maddison in there, maybe look at a Dejan Kulusevski instead. If you've got a Luis Diaz, I'd definitely say look at Dejan Kulusevski. Of course, if you have got Maddison, then swapping him out for Kulu is going to be a tough one. But if you can do it, I would say probably do it. Just before we move on to another budget midfielder, someone we forgot to mention up front is Mitrovic. Alexander Mitrovic. Is he worth a punt?
I don't know.
A double in the first game week against Liverpool.
Maybe.
Let's look at their fixture list. Up next, they've got Wolves and Brentford.
Yeah.
Their potential wins. I mean, I even if they don't win, I think Mitro will get goals.
I think if Fulham are to score, it will be Mitrovic.
Yeah, or who they got?
And we know they can create chances.
They don't look a bad side at all this season. Wolves, I think they could come away with a win. Brentford, the same, arguably. It could be a draw, could be a win. Arsenal will be a tough one, but equally Arsenal didn't look too convincing against Palace. No. Brighton, again, will be a tough game, but they didn't look... again, they didn't look amazing. I mean, United made them look better, I think, than they are. They have lost Cucurella now as well, so they're a bit weakened there. Tottenham, the week after that, will be a tough one. Chelsea, the week after that. So they have got a bit of a tough fixture, but I do think Mitrovic will get goals in that run. So is it potentially worth the punt? For 6.6 mil, I think if you've got...
Danny Ings...
if you've got a player like that around the 7 mil mark, 7.5 mil mark, that didn't score in game week 1, maybe look at Mitrovic. I personally would not be making any signings in game week 1 though.
No.
I would be waiting, rolling over the transfer and seeing what you can do in game week 2.
We'll get into defenders in a minute and then I'll explain what my problem is. But carrying on the midfielders then, Jorginho
scored a penalty against Everton. Does his penalty prowess make him a viable option?
This just speaks volumes for everyone. Is there a point in taking someone that takes pens? That's why someone like Mitrovic is good, because he can. He might score, but he does take pens as well. I think like a Danny Ings, he can take. You think he takes Salah? Obviously takes penalties. A Kane takes penalties.
Yeah, but again, for all of them, and Haaland as well.
Yeah.
For all of them, penalties aren't the only way they score, but I think the only way Jorginho brings in points is penalties, and it's whether you want to take that 6 mil on the hope that he does score a pen.
We know how Jorginho plays. He's a defensive midfielder. He's not going to get assists. Yeah. He's not going to have long range shots and score goals. The only points he's going to get is penalties, and I don't think teams get penalties that often to make him a regular option to come in your team.
But Chelsea do have Raheem Sterling now, who we know is very good at winning penalties. They do have Mason Mount. They do have Kai Havertz, who have also been known to be able to win some penalties. Is it a very... Because, it was Chilwell, of course, who won the penalty on...
Who I do have on my team.
Last Saturday. Yeah, so there is an argument to be made that Jorginho's 11 points is nothing to be scoffed at. But I do think I don't think the 6 mil is worth it. If he's 5 mil, I think maybe you take that punt. But at 6 mil... I just don't think it's worth it. I think if you're going to do that, take a punt on Jefferson Lerma, who obviously scored for Bournemouth.
Do they have got City?
They have got City, so maybe not just yet. Again, wait till the week after.
Yeah.
But his 10 points for his 1.1% who've selected him is a very nice score. I was stunned because the top scorers in this week tend to be very low differential players.
Yeah.
Like Kelly of Bournemouth, Lloyd Kelly. I thought about putting him in. He got an assist.
But they have got City this week.
Clean sheet and bonus points. Not this week, but maybe looking at the week after. Dewsbury Hall for Leicester. He scored as well. It was a very well taken goal, to be fair.
Again, though, against Arsenal.
5 mil.
Not a good idea this week.
Is it though?
No.
Is it not? I mean, I wasn't that convinced by Arsenal against Palace.
No, I think Palace are better than Leicester.
Yeah. And I'll tell on the topic of set pieces, just quickly, is JWP worth a punt?
No.
Because, it wasn't a set piece he scored from.
It's the only way he's going to get points.
Well, he scored a goal from open play on Saturday.
He played, yeah, but that's one exception. He's not going to score a long range every goal at the game, is he?
I mean, he could. He has got that kind of. He has got that.
But yeah, he takes
ability in his locker.
Free kicks. I just don't think he's worth it.
Yeah, I mean, they do have Leeds, who I think they'll lose to. Then Leicester, I think they could win that one, though.
Maybe.
United and Chelsea after that. It's a tough run. But after that, they've got a decent run of fixtures. If you're looking for a set piece taker, I would take Ward-Prowse over Jorginho at 0.5 mil more.
Ward-Prowse takes free kicks and penalties.
And can score from open play. Should we move on to the defenders, and then we'll get into keepers?
Yeah, and what an absolute Zinchenko. So glad.
Well, I was going to mention first, looking at the premiums, but I guess we can go straight into Zinchenko. Highest scoring defender in week 1. He did get an assist. He did get all of the bonus points. I think it's a bit of luck.
No, I don't.
Because I don't think he was that stunning.
He was.
He's headed the ball back across the area and Martinelli put it in.
If he does that every game week.
Yeah, I don't think he will though.
Yeah, but
I think
Ward-Prowse logic.
At 5.1 mil, I wouldn't be taking that punt just yet, unless maybe you've got a Trent.
Because that price has already gone up as well.
Yeah, but I don't think it will rise from here.
Yeah, but if he blanks next 2 game weeks, it won't go down, will it?
Depends.
It'll take longer for that price to go down.
Could get 2 reds.
If he gets a red, I think he's coming straight out my team.
Well, obviously, you're not going to keep him around. He can't play for 2 weeks, but he's in my team regardless.
Yeah, I'm stuck. Yeah. I'm in a bit of spot of bother with defenders.
Yeah, who have you got?
So I've got Zinchenko, but then I've got my other 4 defenders.
He plays Leicester, right?
Yeah, so that's all right. But my other 4 defenders are Perisic against Chelsea, Chilwell against Tottenham, Lamptey against Newcastle, Neco Williams against West Ham.
I find it interesting that you've put Chilwell in there, but you refuse to play Perisic.
Because Perisic didn't play against Southampton. I don't think Perisic will start.
Interesting. I think he probably will.
But I mean, that's the only reason I was thinking about making a transfer and getting out Chilwell or Perisic.
Yeah, I looked at that as well because I have Doherty and Reece. I'm obviously not going to take out Reece James, but Doherty didn't start game week 1. That does worry me. Emerson Royale is not very good, so why did he start over Doherty? Potentially, I think Sessegnon and Emerson playing against Southampton is very much we're just going to give our squad players an opening game, which they'll do fine in, and then when we play Chelsea, Doherty and Perisic will assume their normal roles. I don't think we'll see DJ Spence introduced into that game though, so I think I'm going to keep Doherty. I'm going to start Doherty. If he doesn't play, he doesn't play. If he does, he could keep a clean sheet, and if he doesn't keep a clean sheet, then Chelsea win and I'm buzzing. Yeah. So it's a win-win-win either way.
I also think last week proved that premium defenders aren't worth it.
I wouldn't agree with that statement as a general. I mean, Trent didn't keep a clean sheet, and that was it, and didn't do much going forward, obviously. So I think that is a big one. I wouldn't. Yeah.
City also did all right.
A lot of people double up on them, and that's a big problem. Don't take both Trent and Robbo, because then if Liverpool lose, you've pretty much just cost yourself a good 14 points.
If you take either one, you take Trent.
With both of them.
Trent obviously takes set pieces, and is more likely to get an assist than Robbo is.
And of course, Reece and Cancelo, they both scored 7.
Yeah.
I would not be having Cancelo though over Reece James. I mean, Tottenham coming up, it's a tough one. I've got Reece on my side. I think for a mil less, I don't think you're going to get that many more points. There's a mil between them. Reece at 6, Cancelo at 7. I don't think Cancelo's going to outscore Reece this year.
Not by a million more.
I also think that Cancelo's output will be hindered by Haaland. I think he'll get less goals, possibly more assists. But even then, it's not the goals aren't coming in the same manner they were last season.
No.
They don't need Cancelo to make that bursting run inside and slot it home. They've got Haaland in there, so it is just very much get the ball to Haaland. He'll make something happen. I don't think therefore Cancelo will score as many points. Whereas Reece James, his role on the side hasn't really changed. If anything, it could be his output could be increased by Sterling on the opposite flank.
Yeah.
With ball in, he puts it into the far post. I don't think it's a terrible pick to have Reece James. And a million less than Cancelo, I think it's fairly obvious. Then, I guess, Sessegnon. Is he a great budget option, or did he just get a game against Southampton?
He's got a game against Southampton.
Yeah, I would happen to agree as well.
Not a chance is he going to be playing over Perisic or
Well,
anyone.
it looks like Reguilon's leaving, but yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't take Sessegnon. I don't think he's that good.
Fair enough. And in terms of cheaper midfielders, not really cheaper, but Kieran Trippier, I had him on my side, picked up 7 points. I think yes, he's got City coming up, but I'll bench him there probably.
Yeah, again, I don't know.
I'll have a quick look at his run. I think the fact he takes set pieces and Newcastle look like a good side now, barring City at game week 3 and Liverpool at game week 5, where I will just simply rotate him out of the side. He's got a very nice run. I'm not asked about West Ham. I think they'll keep a clean sheet. I think they could beat West Ham.
Wow.
I wasn't that impressed by Gianluca Scamacca when he came on. He might not even start Kivy Antonio, in which case I'm even less impressed.
That's changed. I thought you were saying that you were impressed by them until the penalty.
No. What, West Ham? No, they did really well defensively. Doesn't mean that I don't think they're going to set up defensively against Newcastle, though. If they're going for that, if they're going that defensively every game...
I think it's a better thing because there's more chance of them scoring.
What, West Ham?
Yeah, if they go more attacking.
Yeah, but I think Newcastle are very good defensively. I think Trippier, Bodman... Shaw scored. Is he worth a punt?
No.
Do you take Fabian Schär?
He scored one lucky long-range goal.
I do think it was slightly lucky, but I would say if you want... At 4.5 mil, if you want a budget option that will keep clean sheets this season, go for Fabian Schär.
I'm not sure about that.
Because I think he will probably play more than Sven Bodman.
I think that's just a game week 1 lucky game.
Because Bodman didn't start week 1, it was Byrne and Schär.
Exactly.
In the back two, Target left back, Trippier right back. I think though Target, Trippier, very very good options. I would consider bringing both of those in. Schär, of course, did really well game week 1, but again, he did get that goal, which was slightly lucky, so maybe don't take the punt on him. But I was very happy with Trippier's output in my side.
I've got a dilemma at goalkeeper.
I was going to quickly mention Neco Williams and other budget options. Williams versus Patterson.
Williams.
Who would you take?
Don't start him this week because he's got West Ham.
Yeah, I mean, I was benching him at the moment. I don't think he'll play, but at 4 mil, he is a fine rotation option, I think, if they've got a good game. So, I do think it makes sense to bring him because he is so cheap. Yeah, and then of course, between him and Patterson, I'd be taking Neco. I think Everton look like they're going to struggle. And then at cheap, I have Tyreek Mitchell. Do you have anyone at 4.5? I guess Tariq Lamptey, very similar kind of player.
Yeah.
In terms of they're very, very good, very young, play for a midfield side. No, he didn't. He came off the bench.
It's a bit worrying. I'm not.
And Mitchell struggled game week 1, but he did play Arsenal. He has got Liverpool and City at game week 2 and 4. But again, looking at his run, he rotates really nicely with Trippier. Yeah. Because 3 and 5, where Trippier's playing City and Liverpool, is Palace and Brentford. Villa and Brentford. He plays for Palace. So I think, he makes a good option. Then keeper, as you want to get onto there.
Yes.
I think this is a really tough call. I had De Gea and Pope. I benched Pope, started De Gea, so I had him there. I have quickly realised that picking anyone from Manchester United is not a good idea.
I don't know whether to start Emi Martinez against Everton or Leno against Wolves.
Martinez. Everton don't have a striker, and they didn't look like they created anything against a Chelsea side that weren't that great. Wolves did score against Leeds.
Okay.
Jimenez, Neto looked like good players. But Mendy at 5 mil was the best performing keeper this week. Do you take him? Do you not? Well, joint with Ederson, but again, Ederson's 0.5 mil
game, but after
more
expensive.
Game, I think, yeah, fair enough. I would also happen to agree with you there. But I think that is about all for today. Yeah. There's not too much else to get into. If you've got any FPL concerns or debates you're kind of having with yourself, stick them in the comments below. We'll reply to them with our best advice possible. Again, we're not experts though, so don't expect fantastic advice and don't blame us when it all goes wrong. If you've not joined the Football Chat League, I'm going to have a quick look in here as well, of course. I am 527th.
I'm 150th.
You had a very good week one. I struggled game week one. I only scored 50 points, but we move on to next week. Hopefully, could get some more points. Our teams will be on screen now. Should be side by side with each other, and of course, the FPL League code after this is D3. KK. Why? Should be on screen. Make sure to join if you haven't already. We've got about 700 players in the league now, so yeah, it's a very competitive one. I'll have a look at who's top for this week because it is week. It has only been 1 week. I imagine they won't still be top by the end, but we have 2 joint top with 90 points. We'll have a look at the first. It's Dyche's Legacy. He just basically had Haaland, Kulusevski, Zinchenko, Mendy, Cancelo and Salah and Trippier. So a lot of very good points there. Yeah. Captain Salah probably would have benefited more if they'd captained Kulusevski or Haaland, but regardless, a very, very solid week for Dyche's Legacy. So big up Charlie Mills. And then Elikim Strokes, Case 5 FC in second. Joint first, I'd guess. He had, again, exactly the same players. Trippier, Cancelo, Zinchenko, Salah, Kulusevski and Haaland. They were the players who did well for everyone last weekend. And he took Robert Sanchez, who scored in 4 in that United game. 4 saves. And a bonus point. So, did very well there. So pick up those 2.
Yes.
Of course, we will frequently look at the league this season, so make sure to join, even if you're not right at the sharp end because you've joined in game week 2. We will still obviously mention you if you've had a really good game week or something like that throughout the season. We do tend to scroll through. Of course, for this week, everyone that's had a good game week is right at the top. Yeah. But for the future, of course, if you are like bottom but you've scored 101 points, then we're going to mention you on the show. But that is all for today. If you have enjoyed, make sure to leave a like, get involved in the comments section. That's if you're on YouTube. If you're on Spotify, you'll have to head over to the YouTube to get involved. And if you're on YouTube and prefer to just like listen to this rather than watch us, head on over to Spotify. But as I've said, that is all for today. Thank you all very much for watching, and we'll see you next time.
See ya.